Hi everyone. I wasn't sure if my internet was gonna fail right there. That was crazy. I have a new guest on. I'm really excited to announce her. This is Anna, and I found her through Instagram because we're both in the same business. So if you can see our live stream, please pop in the comments any questions you might have so that we can interact during this live the whole time. Because we're both in the same business and we all want to support women and other people in the business that want to join. But anyways, this is all about Anna. So Anna, I would love for you to introduce yourself and tell a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I am Anna. I live actually in Montana, and I am a mom. Left my 9 to 5 stressful job about a year ago this week,
What?
and I am now home with my two kiddos, and I absolutely love to be home with them. And I'm a runner. I love having more time to be able to run and do all of that. I'm training for a big race this summer. Big time
Yes.
traveler. I love traveling. I actually studied hospitality and tourism. So it is like
Mm.
deep in me. I love to travel. And I'm so excited to have more opportunities to do that, especially international travel with my family. And yeah, I am honestly just really passionate about getting out of the hustle and living a very intentional life. And that's what, really got me going in learning more about this business and diving into it.
Nice. That's so beautiful. I love that you already quit your 9 to 5 and you get to be a stay-at-home mom because I see so many moms out there striving for that. And I'm a dog mom. You'll see the crazy one right
Yeah.
there. He'll wander around the whole time, but I'm a dog mom, so I totally get the wanting to stay home and be with your babies and just experience everything with them because that's so important. And you kind of touched a little bit about your why, but could you go a little bit deeper in your
Yeah.
why of why?
Yeah. So I realized working for someone else and outside the home, working for someone outside of the home, for an employer that I was just gonna keep doing that for a really long time, right? I think a lot of us question whether or not we'll actually be able to retire, like, will it be
Mhm.
enough? And I always had this nudge to go and do my own thing, but I didn't know what, and that's a really challenging thing to think about when you have little ones,
Right.
um, to think like, how am I going to do something with kids around? I'll wait till they're in high school, or I'll wait till whatever, or some people delay even having kids because they're like, I want to figure out like my career thing first.
Right.
And it kept like nudging at me. And I could have easily gone out and just found like another job, but I knew I would just come right back around to the same spot that
Same
I was
thoughts.
in because I felt like I did that through almost 3 jobs, that I kept feeling like this, like, urge to do my own thing, go after my own dreams. But I think for a long time, I didn't know what that really, like, looked like, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and what's really interesting, and I like to be really clear on this, like, I left my job basically for mental health reasons,
Mm.
and I started my own travel planning company. And about 3 months into that, of kind of doing it on the side, I finally was like, I gotta leave my 9 to 5. Like, this is not sustainable the way I was feeling. I felt so overwhelmed, rushing all the time. I had 2 kids. I think I dealt with a lot of postpartum like anxiety and things like that.
Right.
Really just had exhausted my system. And that's what really propelled me to like, I'm getting out of this. Like, I can't do
Yeah.
this. And it was not like something that you take very lightly, right? Like when you're a household with 2 incomes coming through, now all of a sudden you're like going to cut that in half. Um, but what I realized with my travel planning, I love travel and I love sharing it with people. But the amount of travel clients I was going to have to take on to reach
Mm.
my financial goals was really high. Like, it was
Um,
very high. And throughout my journey of starting that business, there was a lot of work, right? I mean, you're sourcing out coaches and figuring out pricing and building websites and funnels and all of these things. And you're doing it all on your own because you're
Ooh,
just a one-man show, right? And you want to be this entrepreneur. But what
right.
I realized was like, I was going to have to take on all these clients. And I was like, I don't have the bandwidth for that. Like, I need something that has automation. I need something that actually there's already this amazing product there. And so when I stumbled in and learned about what this is with Enagic, I was like, it's kind of the best of both. Like you have this foundation of a product that you love, need, want, in your
Mhm.
household.
Right.
And then on top of it, a community of people that are like-minded that I get to like work with, like my coworkers, like you're my coworker because we all are
Right.
in this business.
Yep.
And I was like, wow, like this is the full package for me. And and at the end of the day, like I want to make money, Like I
Right.
want to actually move the dial. This isn't about surviving, this is about thriving. And that's absolutely what led me into like a 50-year-old company working and partnering with like awesome,
Yep.
right? They have the backup. They've been doing this for a long time. And yeah, so that was kind of my story of like how I came into this.
Yeah.
And everything works out in time. It's amazing how
Um,
when you try to seek it out, it comes to you.
Girl, that nail on the head right there. So I have a very similar story as you. But I had an accounting background and I was going through
Mm,
the burnout cycle. And am I really going to do this to my 60s? Like, there's no way I'm sitting in a cubicle with these miserable people being bitched at for their mistakes. And, this is just a cycle of burnout that I don't want to be in. And I started wondering, like, I want to start my own business. I want to work for myself. I want to do something. So I was, venturing in ideas of like stand up paddleboarding or like doing a
mhm,
yoga class on the beach or something zen, down here
mhm,
by the beach because that's where I live. And I stumbled across a girl's ad and found out about the business that way. And I was like, oh my God, this ticks all my boxes. And the automation, being able to live on a free lifestyle, and you get to make incredible money that is going to be passed down to your children if I have children, but it's a good option. But how did you find out about the business? Was it an ad as well?
So actually, it was really interesting. It was just on Instagram. It wasn't an ad. I was looking for travel clients and retreat
Oh,
clients to plan for.
yes.
And so I saw a group of women that are now the collective that I'm part of, doing this business. But for a long time, I didn't actually know what it was. I wasn't trying to look for anything. I was trying to start my travel business. And it kept like her profile kept coming up and up. And I was seeing her travel and do all this cool stuff and very, not in a hustle way, very intentional. And I was like, I want that. Like, and having
No.
fun at the same time. And I got curious. I started diving into it more and realized I was like, this is really cool. And this really checks like all the boxes. So yeah, Instagram is how I found it. And there are just so many, it can seem like there's so many different businesses and all these different things. Um, but yeah, I think Instagram is just such a powerful place to really see, especially people's stories and then their post. There's just so many genuine, amazing women out there. Is what I
Right. And let it be known to all the people that are watching, if you're watching and you don't feel that way, maybe you need to do like a reevaluation of what your Instagram or what your feeds look like and start following people in the direction you want to be going in. So,
Mhm,
like for me, I was living a very burnout, negative lifestyle. So I started following like motivational quotes and positive affirmations and all of this, great energy life stuff. And then my life started evolving like that because of the things I was
mhm.
following. So if you're not following things that are lighting you up, like take this as like a hint, like change your feeds because that's a beautiful place to start. And I love that you found that through Instagram. So you kind of touched a little bit about what you were attracted to, but what actually gave you that pull to make the switch into Enagic?
So I definitely think the high ticket part of the business. I wanted to be smart about how I was spending my time and my energy. And I had dabbled a little bit into like figuring out like Amazon links and stuff like that, and like facials, like face stuff and makeup and that
Yeah.
kind of thing. And I was like, just really wasn't checking the boxes for me that those kind of products were actually going to lend to a lifestyle that I wanted. Sure, you could make some extra money, but like I'm like, I really want to travel. I really want to,
Mm,
live mortgage free. Real big juicy goals. And I
right.
knew that those smaller ticket items were not going to move the dial. They
Mm,
simply weren't.
mm,
And then on top of it, like I am very much an outdoors person, runner. And so the water, I was like, this is no brainer for me. Like this aligned so well with my
right.
values. I think that's a
Mhm.
really key part is like value aligned, but also can make money.
Right. Ugh, girl. See, when I found out about the water, I didn't know that the machine was actually a business,
Yeah.
ticket. So I had no idea that it was, the business. And I always wanted a machine. So when I found the girl's post, and then I found out eventually after watching her webinar that it was the water machine, I was like, what? This is insane because I've always wanted one. And I was like, well, this is a perfect opportunity. And
Mhm.
this is literally divine timing because I was looking for something and then boom, it was the water machine. And that's what I had always wanted. So, of course, no brainer. This is being handed to me. I'm going to take responsibility of this being the thing that I'm supposed to be doing in life.
Yeah, I love that. Yes, absolutely. And that's what's cool about the business too is you can be attracted for multiple things. And even the people who are attracted to you specifically, they may not want to be in the business and they just want the water machine. So I
Right.
love that it goes both ways. I
Right.
love that it's people who want to start a business, but it's also people who genuinely want the water in their home and have something else in their life going on that they make money from. But clearly the business model is what also attracted us into it.
Definitely. So I would definitely say I'm right in the line with you on that. And the water really did change my life. I actually struggled with IBS. So
Mm.
after drinking the water for I think it was about 4 or 5 months in, I didn't have any other issues that I've always had. And I slowly kind of incorporated cheese back into my life. And I was like,
Mm.
I can eat cheese now. Oh my God.
Yes. Well, and I have to say, like, for the amount of stress that I feel like my body has gone under, trying to work and have like infants and like all
Yeah.
of that with the little kids,
Right.
I truly believe that this water is bringing my energy back. Finally, like, same thing. I had all this stress induced things in my body that
Right.
were causing my body not to work properly. And I feel like this water is bringing things back into alignment and balance like it
Yeah.
should.
Oh, that's beautiful. And your kids are safe with water and you don't have to worry about poisons and plastics and all this stuff that we're trying to shed light to everyone to realize that this day and age we can't trust our tap systems and we definitely can't trust the marketing of plastic bottles because that's all that it is
Yeah.
marketing.
And so much
That's
money
so cool.
spent on also hurting the environment. So
I
it's really, really bad.
know.
And actually what's interesting is our community has just been alerted that there's some contaminants in the water that are not meeting the standards of quality just in general for the baseline of water.
Right.
And then on top of it, you have to realize like the tap water was already really bad. Like the
Yeah.
standards are very low already. So then to have it
Yes.
even further, it's like very shocking and scary. And I'm like thankful that I had my machine when it all went down. So
Right. Oh my gosh, that's so key. And it's the one thing in people's lives that we don't really pay attention to. Like, I didn't really understand how important water was until I actually started doing the science and the research and drinking the water and actually learning that the type of water you drink really does matter and it really does change your life in so many ways, not just like health, it's like mind, body,
yeah,
spirit, everything is
yeah,
working so properly. So I'm glad that we both share that too. That's really
yeah.
cool. So I guess my next question would be, what would be your advice for anybody that's on the fence?
Yeah, really take some time to dive into what you're looking for in your life. Start to like actually evaluate what you want, not what your family, your parents want you to see, see you do, right? Or really anyone else, like your neighbors, society, whatever it might be, the ladies at church, like whatever it might be, like start to evaluate what your day looks like, what your week looks like. And that's really what I did. It took, a little bit of time to dive in because you're so conditioned to think, well, I'm on this path. I got to keep going. I have a degree, I have all these things. But it's
Mm,
like, if it's not serving you, then it's
right.
probably time to move on. And just, it takes, take an afternoon for yourself and dive in a little bit, really think or write it if you're a journaler. But evaluate how you're spending your time, because for most of us, if we're honest with ourselves, the time that we are spending doing things, and that can even come down to commuting every day. Like, do you want to do that? Do you, it comes down to time and what you are spending your time doing. Um, and think into what really matters to you. And I really believe that with this business model, if you go into it with an open mind, you can do this. Like
Yeah,
anyone can do this, because the whole
right.
point of it is to shine you. You're not trying to
Mhm.
be me. You're not trying to be you. Like, you are literally showing up as you. And I think once I understood that I was creating a personal brand that is fully me, not someone else, that it can incorporate all of me, that's when
Mm,
it really like ticked for me, that I was like, yeah, I want this. So
right.
yeah.
Oh, that's so beautiful because that's literally what we get to do. When you hear people say, like, we really get paid to be ourselves, it's because we do. We literally just get to present our things that we're passionate about, the things that we love, and people are attracted to that because that's maybe what they're passionate about or that's what
Mhm.
they're going for. So being in the attraction marketing type of industry has really changed my mind, especially coming from an accounting background. Like,
Yeah.
I had no idea about anything social media, so I had to
No.
learn straight from the bottom, and I was like, I don't even know how to set up a live feed. Like, what is this going live in front of people on the
Yeah.
internet? Like,
Oh my gosh. And that's the thing though, is like, just do it. Take the action. And it's, I cannot tell you the growth alone in this business, like the personal development part of it
right.
is so incredible. And being able to, yeah, I started account from zero, no idea what I was doing. I didn't know what a reel was. Like, you do not need to know everything. You don't.
No.
It's about taking aligned action and
Hmm.
realizing that you have these goals for yourself, and this is the vehicle to get you there.
Yes. Oh, that's so beautiful. And literally, for anybody that's on the fence that's watching, you literally have no idea what you can accomplish because you've never accomplished it before. And when you find something that you're truly passionate about and you have the full support of everybody around you, and everybody's always uplifting you and showing you the way and teaching you new things, it is a new energy space to be in. Because think about it, when you go to your, say you just started your job, you go to your job, you learn the training, you go through the trainings, you learn all of their tools, you learn all of their platforms. Is it something that you're passionate about and that you're really fired up and excited about? No, you just want the freaking paycheck, right? Think think about the other side, like being passionate about it before you even get paid. You're just excited to learn all these new things because it's revolved around you and what you're passionate about. That's like a goal setter, will make you feel like you're on cloud nine for the rest of your life because you're in that space.
Yes, yes. And who you surround yourself with is everything.
Yeah.
And I used to have that same thing of like really toxic work environments with people who are really burnt out, really unhappy with their life. And what's interesting, you talk about like jumping into a new job, think about like the person who trains you. Usually it's someone who's about to leave, like because you're taking over their job. And like, how unmotivated are they? They're like, yeah, this is how you do it. And you may, they might be kind of motivated, but really, like, are they? What I love about this business is like everyone is just motivated to help each other. Like, that's just the way it is. There's no, um, it's the most supportive, especially with women, the most
Yeah,
supportive environment that I have ever been in.
right.
And I've been in a lot of teams. I've been done a lot of stuff, and this is just like to a new level.
I love the way you said that because I grew up with a lot of women issues because I don't
Mm,
speak to my real mother, and it kind of trickled into all my workforces, and all my workforces were women bosses who treated me like shit. So I never really had that like women support. And then when I joined this business, I was like, oh my God, these people like actually care about me, and they're actually very fucking nice, and I don't have to worry about no catty stuff behind my back. Like it opened me up into a new era of my life,
yeah,
and I evolved completely because I let go of all of that was holding me back, and I
yeah,
was able to do that just by trusting myself and starting a business and going with my gut on when I truly know this is it. I don't care what it takes. I'm going to do whatever it takes to do this because I know in my gut that this is what I want.
right, right. And I think when you have the foundation of such a strong company, a lot of those like doubts go away because you're like, it's there. It's literally there. The comp plan is there. It's not
Yep.
going anywhere, you know?
Nope.
And the product is there. It is solid on a very, very solid footing. And when you have those things, you're like, it doesn't matter how long it takes. Like you just go after it because you know eventually it's gonna happen no matter
Yep.
what, it's going to happen because
Yes.
it's happened for so many other people.
Right.
There's no question of it anymore. It's like it will happen. It will happen. And when you take the action, it's gonna happen.
Great. It's all about learning about yourself and
Yeah.
learning a new industry and, truly learning about like who you are as a person. And that helps you evolve in the business because you're comfortable in your own body and you don't have any naysayers that bother you. And you have no way of like constantly thinking like, oh my God, what are people going to say? Are people going to judge me? Like you don't care about that because
Yeah.
you're in your own mindset and you love yourself and that's all that cares. That's my experience. I
Yeah.
have definitely opened myself up through the internet because of this business, and I'm so grateful for it.
Yes, 100% because yeah, I think a lot of people hesitate because they're like what are my friends and family going to say? You know, what are other people like judging me? How is that going to
Mm,
be? And once you open yourself up and realize this is a business, you're showing up for you, you're showing up for your business, you're showing up for the family that you want to support.
right,
And all of that kind of goes out the window because just like any other business, you got to open your doors every day. Target doesn't shy away from advertising, right?
right,
All these businesses don't shy away. You don't need to shy away from it because you think someone's going to judge you.
right.
Those people can
Block,
go
move
away.
on.
Yeah, those people can go away because there's just so many genuine people out there that actually really want and need this. And
Yep.
once you have all of that, a lot of that it just fades away.
Yes. Oh, this was so beautiful. Thank you so much for jumping on. I'm so glad we
Yes,
got to connect.
I love it. Thanks for having me. I love doing
Yeah.
lives. They're so fun.
Oh, well, great. Then I'm going to book you in for
Yeah.
another one. We're going to
Yeah.
talk about positivity because I love your positivity.
Yeah.
All right. Well, great. Thank you so much for jumping on, and I'll catch you in the chats.
All right. See ya.
All
Bye.
right. Bye.